No, let's have somebody do a quick recap of what happened in our previous session for our last time on Dungeons and Dragons.
I can go, I think. So we were trudging through the forest and got somewhat lost. And we found a small fish child that we decided to trust and follow. And she led us not to where we wanted to go, but somewhere else. And we found a cave of wonders of sorts. And
nothing but the lamb.
Which, of course, we touched
and of
everything.
course, we touched all the things, including the lamp.
And Meg cheated.
Yep. She did not
Meg didn't
cheat.
know what a
I may
hexagon
have
was.
Googled what a hexagon looked like, but that was all that I did.
When once it was clarified to me that that's all she was Googling was the shape of a hexagon, I feel a little less bad about that being counted as cheating. But
He
Yes, I agree.
100% thought that I Googled the solution to
the answer.
problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and watch the replay because I swear to God that's
what she said. That's basically what you said.
She said, and she clarified it at least 3 times.
I did.
Well, no.
I
So
was very
you have
clear.
to be careful because sometimes when she's caught in a lie, she'll do some backpedaling that sounds a lot like clarifying, but is really like, I am sorry you caught me in this lie, not I'm sorry I did this.
Wow, John. Wow.
So we solved the puzzle, went even deeper into the Cave of Wonders, found some treasure, found an orb with a lamp in it, and I stole the lamp. Everyone else stole the treasure. We got out of there, and then we were able to find our way to where we were going, which is closer to the pyramid. And it was guarded by some scary looking dudes with a big old doggy. And Draco did not get us into combat, so we were able to talk our way out of it and
what was that
move through
about?
it without fighting. And we're just about to see what happens on the other side of this little ridge here.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add from a personal perspective?
I yelled at the kid.
You did yell at a child.
Yeah.
You shook a baby.
In fairness, the baby yelled or lied to me.
As children are wont to do.
You lying little child.
Then one other question before we pick up where we left off, and that is inspiration token for last session. Who is worthy of it?
Actually, Draco.
What?
What?
This is weird coming from Renan. What?
Well, I hate you. I hate you, Draco, but I love you, Zach.
Because he's a unique weasel?
The avoiding of the conflict.
I'll take it.
For allowing something to happen.
Yeah. For not giving that guy tree aids.
Listen, that's a huge step for our little guy Draco. So
It really is. It really is.
We need to reward him positively so he learns from his past mistakes.
I'm down.
I feel like it was a kind of a nobody did anything remarkable. You know?
Except for Hoppy trying to kill a little kid. That was a little odd.
Yeah,
that wasn't positive, no, yeah.
It could be
He made her fish her pants.
Oh.
I inked.
Hey, Caleb, that was actually funny.
I don't know. I'm 2 for 2 with using my new skill, so that would be the
No, I'm taking it.
only reason I would give it.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
That's Mathis' favorite joke.
Nice. All right. So after tricking the gatekeepers, you guys walked through that large jungle archway and down a set of stairs just as you could hear him whining that his massive gold piece had shrunken in size considerably and is now worth probably not enough to have granted you passage. You find yourself again walking down one of these central spokes. There seems to be, 6 in kind of a hexagonal pattern. Google that shape. Leading into the central pyramid. You guys are happening to take one down that walks through a market square, like that would sort of lead if you continue straight on that path towards that central pyramid that seems to be the temple of Kher-Sur you've been searching for. But it does take you through this sort of merchant, you know, town, a little trader's row, however you want to see it. And you are excellent. Thank you, Mark. Oh my goodness. And you are greeted by shopkeepers that come out of the stores to welcome you and start showing you their wares.
No, thank you.
Um, right off the bat, a obviously married couple catches your attention and asks if this is your first time here. He doesn't recognize your face. Welcome,
Why?
travelers.
Um,
I'm not
Sean,
interested in the threesome.
Mhm.
Renan would like to stay within eye shot of the party, but sneak away to find a treasure.
Okay. Can I, for the sake of this scene, just get my 2 favorite rolls for you?
Yes, except I'm not in roll 20. Can someone please hit my 2 favorite rolls? And may they,
Stealth and perception.
and then please tell me the numbers.
Stealth is 18
Still.
and perception is 12.
What the fuck?
Those
I rolled a
are
2.
those are not great die rolls, but they're acceptable like skill checks. They're not awful. Not
I'll give her guidance.
Yes.
add a d4.
Extra D4.
Excellent. A 4.
Huzzah!
16. That's better. At least less embarrassing.
At least less embarrassing.
At least that's
Um,
embarrassing for the person that never misses that miss.
Not quite blocking your way, but like standing a third of the way in the middle of the street. This large shopkeeper wearing like a leather apron, with his long, almost fully gray hair now tied back in sort of a man bun. Um,
Hot.
Extends like a large, heavily calloused worker's hand in greeting to you. Introduces himself as Tiro and asks if this is your first visit to Kher-Sur. He chuckles, knowing that
It
you only
is.
get to visit it once, probably.
Right.
Who is he offering his hand to? Renan or someone else in the
Anyone
party?
who wants to accept his greeting.
I will give him a firm handshake. A little warrior's greeting.
Nice. He's
Oh,
you can tell
on the kicks,
for a name.
cheap.
I'm sorry.
He's looking for your name.
Oh,
He's introduced himself as Tiro, and he's very gregarious. Like you get the idea he's a talker and likes people.
I am not a talker, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna nod and say Oni, and then I'm gonna nod at my family and say and others.
Goes, oh, nee. Oh no, not the talker in the group. I can see, just like my wife Asima over here. I totally understand. Welcome to our small, humble village. I suppose you'll be in need of fresh supplies, likely after a lengthy journey that likely brought you here. Would you care to sample our wares?
Sure, I walk on up to the front. Draco, and the little guy reaches
He
up and
goes, "What? Who said that?" Pretending not to see you.
I'm gonna step aside and try to talk to his wife while Draco is distracting the shopkeep. I'm gonna observe her first. Does she look like a Genasi?
She looks like she could have some partial elemental heritage. She is certainly not a full-blooded Genasi like you are, but her hair is almost like spun gold. You do suspect that maybe somewhere along the line she had heritage of that of an Earth Genasi. Her skin is, white and fleshy, but her hair looks like spun gold. A clear clue at her lineage.
Hmm.
She generally keeps to herself. She's cleaning up Tiro's tools and trying to present some of the stuff that they've got that she thinks are the shiny apples up front, but generally speaking tends to just sort of stay behind the booth itself, um, sizing each of you up and, remembering to present an amiable smile. Um, but doesn't seem to want to necessarily engage. He seems to be the outspoken one, and she's more the behind the counters type.
I'm gonna
Uh,
try to get her engaged and ask her what she's holding.
mm, just randomly as she's setting his tools aside, she goes, "This is a tinker's hammer." Tink, tink, tink. She just sort of like awkwardly makes like it does it does hammery things, and less in my hands, more in his.
So I ask him, so what you got to show us?
He's got um traveler's cloaks and haversacks and fresh boots that are just now available. He looking you up and down, realized that some of your traveling clothes are worse for wear. He says we can also patch up any of your gear. My wife is quite the accomplished seamstress. She blushes slightly.
Good. Do you got any like good fire resistant bootsies that could fit me? I pick up one of my little feetsies and waves it at him.
Because I am afraid that anything for you will have to be a custom order, friend, but we're absolutely up to the task. Perhaps we have some children's clothes.
Ooh.
Hoppy should probably get a new loincloth. It's been a few months
Oh, getting a little
since he
ripe.
changed it.
He also tells you that the town also has a public bath you could afford yourselves of. It'd be interesting if you wanted to go ahead and rid yourself of the unique smell
Travel.
you've cultivated.
How did you find yourself here?
That's an interesting question. Well, long after being stranded, I found that my tinker's trade wasn't going to be plied quite so well here, so we ended up being junk collectors. Halfway through the story, she's like, I don't think that they mean here as a shopkeeper. I think they mean here as in the Oasis.
I'm gonna nod.
He looks at you like, is that right? Like, you don't want to hear
Mm-hmm.
my whole story about how I became a shopkeep?
Nope.
No? He looks genuinely sort of disappointed. Um,
Aw.
she apologizes and puts her hand on the small of her husband's back. He loves to talk, and if you let him, he would never stop. He just kind of like thinks of a way to argue or a way to sort of like reverse that into a positive, but just ultimately nods and accepts this. That is likely what would have happened. She says that they were once a member of an adventuring team that were just trying to scout the outer corners of the Empire, um, doing reconnaissance for Pharaoh Tutmos, and came upon this beautiful oasis. They and two other people decided to lead the van of the exploration deep into its innards to figure what was happening. She said by the time we had met the fair people here and were going to try to hark our way back out, we had discovered that the location of this place had shifted entirely, and it was challenging, impossible even, for us to find the outer edge of this oasis. We've come to learn from its denizens that it shifts locations periodically. So we were separated from our party, our friends, our family. He, like, kisses her on the cheek. Thank God we had each other.
Oh, how long have you guys been here?
He says that there's no accurate reckoning of time that she can employ to know for sure. And he chuckles and says, my hair was not nearly so gray.
Oh, damn.
Been a good long while, many, many years for sure. Exactly how many he couldn't say.
What was the pharaoh's name again?
Tutmos.
That does sound familiar.
My history is a 1, so I'm probably not the person to look at that. Does anyone else have a higher history that might be able to
I've got good history.
when in time that pharaoh ruled?
Oops, that was not with advantage.
Still, either way.
21's a solid roll. Amon, the name Tutmos is familiar to you, but strictly in a historical context. He was the first pharaoh of the Reconstruction period. That's the modern age in which you live, but that would put him 3 pharaohs ago, a member of the very first dynasty of the Reconstruction period, some 70 years ago.
Ooh, jeez.
And your hair wasn't that white or that gray? It was already kind of gray.
Well, he chuckles and says he's put on a few pounds and a little bit of gray, but he likes to imagine he's still very much the strapping explorer that found this place. He kneels in and she kisses his forehead and is handsome as the day I met him.
Oh, they're adorable.
Was there a settlement here when you came across it, or did you found this place?
Oh no, the Oasis collects people. There's been people here for as long as I've been here. Many villages around the outskirts. Kuatoan in the upper city. I've never been in the temple proper. Only a few people are ever selected for that kind of an adventure.
Is that the pyramid?
Why is that?
The Kuatoan control the pyramid and have very specific requirements about who can and cannot enter it. It's sacred to them for some reason.
Some reason.
If we wanted to speak to someone who had been here longer than you, where might we find that person?
I don't know. You could talk to Kamal. I think he was here for at least a year or two before us. Otherwise, you'd probably have to talk to, I don't know, maybe Vera? He looks at his wife and she nods awkwardly. If you can stomach having a conversation with her. Or, oh, I don't even know.
Is she
Yeah,
hot?
she blushes, not being willing to say an unkind word about anyone, but you can tell that like the knee-jerk reaction was going to be to say no.
Might one of you be able to take us and do an introduction? We'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Um, Tiro, being very proud, says, "We don't take charity, but if you have any goods that we can repair, or perhaps if you're looking for something a little more exotic, I have a couple of sundry items that we've come across in our junk trading adventures. Perhaps you'd be interested in. Give us a fair price on it, and we'll throw in an introduction."
We'd be happy to take a look at your exotic wares, and I don't consider it charity at all. We'd basically be hiring you as a guide.
He chuckles. "I'm not sure I'm the guide you'd want to hire." Like waiting for the pause and a punchline, she goes, "The last time someone hired him, we did end up here."
Oh, jeez.
I never admitted to. You can tell as they present you these items on their rolled up cloth that he's aware that they are not of the highest quality, and may not even be remotely interesting to you, but like they're both sort of waiting with bated breath to see if there's any inkling.
I'm gonna say, have you ever seen this purple crystal?
I wouldn't mind buying the mermaid's voice elixir, but I only have 74 gold.
Yeah, how much? How
Perfect.
much for the
It's on sale
items?
today for 70 gold.
Great! I'll take it.
How much? How much for the spyglass?
he tells you that they were hoping to get 100 for it.
Hmm. From all the new people that come through here.
He says there weren't any yesterday, and today there are 5. Who knows what tomorrow will bring?
Obviously 25. I don't know. The spyglass could be useful if we needed to um, navigate.
Yeah, it would help us navigate. Um, hmm.
I wasn't sure if you were interested in that,
Money.
Meg. Are you copying down the notes?
I am.
Excellent. Says we could do 90 on it, but I feel like the emeralds alone are going to be worth close to 70, so I can't go much lower than 90.
I only have 9, so unless they will throw in or unless somebody else wants to throw in more, would they take some of the
Are we giving
loot
it to
in trade?
Are we giving it to Amon as our guide? I know you also
I'd probably be able to. Yeah, I've got the explorer and navigation stuff.
So there's one thing I want to go backwards on, and that's, were you joking about displaying the crystals because no one wants them, or were you going to show Tiro the crystal?
I was actually going to show him and ask what he thought, and if they would be interested in trading for some. I
He
still have like a pound and a
takes a
half.
step back with both hands, like shielding his face, and then one hand moves to shield his groin,
He knows exactly what they are.
and he tells you that Kyrite is forbidden here, forbidden most places. You shouldn't be carrying it outside of a containment vessel.
So you don't want any.
He says he would be thrilled to have some. It's a formidable weapon. Why do you have it?
Uh, it looked pretty.
That is a bit alarming to me, new friend. Are you aware of what it does?
I am now. I'm actually thinking about making some arrowheads out of it. Do you have a skilled craftsman in this area who would be able to assist with that?
He says, honestly, that seems like a fool's errand without it being stabilized somehow. Perhaps maybe Odelia could help you? You should talk to her. She's down the way. Go past the arches at the end of this row, and if you hang a right, she'll be the shop with billowing green smoke coming out of it, almost certainly. She looks at his wife and she goes, "Yeah, it's after 4. Definitely look for the green smoke."
Sounds like my kind of person.
Before you go, he wants to know if we've settled on a price on the Emerald Spyglass.
I think I can.
I can put my 9 in if you need it, or we could take it out of the pot.
I can pay for it. Since you've been so kind, I'll pay you the full price and not waste your time with haggling.
He accepts the generosity of your offer, and Asima goes to work immediately wrapping it up for you in like the most crude sort of like, animal skin wrap job you've ever seen, but it's the best that they can do here, and they present you with both of your purchased items. Before we go any further, I want to get back in touch with Renan, who is separating herself from this conversation to do a bit of her own dastardly dealings. Renan, while you watch them have a conversation with Tiro and Asima, you're able to stroll up and down this sort of merchant's way. There aren't very many patrons out. It could be because it's coming up on late afternoon and maybe this place is more active during midday. It could be because there's no foot traffic because it's a wandering oasis where a few people get lost. There are some trade goods out on various, blankets and tables that could easily be swiped. Um, you do see a small clay urn of lamp oil that's kind of between two open merchants' stalls. Maybe they're going to use it for torchlight tonight. Maybe it's a item that was forgotten about, but like it's not clearly in anybody's line of sight. It would be easy enough for you to pilfer. Or you can attempt to manipulate one of these tired sand merchants and see if you can lift money from them directly from their pocket or coin purse. But as far as casing the joint, there's a few, sundry trinkets here and there. None of them worth more than a few gold. The only thing that's of more significant value or utility is that clay urn of lamp oil. Otherwise, you can pickpocket any of these people. They look a little sun bleached, a little tired. It's almost the end of their working day. They probably wouldn't see it coming.
Okay. I actually feel really bad for these people because they just live in an oasis, and that's a shitty life. I shouldn't assume that. What about interesting conversations? And do I overhear anything? I don't
Uh,
want to steal from these sad humans.
okay. That seems fair. About 2 stalls down on the left, you walk past an open door. Um, there's like a large round studio where a shirtless, almost entirely naked, exceedingly well-muscled man is sitting cross-legged, and there are plumes of burning sage and incense on either side of him, and he's guiding people through some kind of maybe meditation or like breathing exercise. Um, Everybody is super calm and still, but outside there's a small child drawing in the sand. Um, that doesn't really pay attention to you, but you can tell he's very anxious about this class being over soon. He's just doing like the draw an image, kick the dirt, draw an image, kick the dirt. Just keep
Okay,
checking in the tent.
I just want to keep an eye on him and maybe like still stay pretty hidden. I don't want anybody to notice me. I'm just kind of watching.
Um, at the very end of this row, by the columns in the background there, you see two very large Piscine people walking down the street. Each is carrying an ornate bident. It's a trident with only 2 prongs. And they're wearing
No, thank you.
beautifully crafted armor. And you notice that like as they patrol the area, people not necessarily like get out of their way, but there's just this like they read to you as like cops, right? This is that the general populace tends to give them a little bit of a berth, and anything that could be misconstrued as ne'er-do-welling ceases in their under their gaze. A couple playing dice at a table just stops their game and hides the dice as this duo of fish people approaches.
Okay. Do I see any obvious coin purses on them?
No. Where most travelers would keep a water skin or a coin purse, they have a leather belt that has a gold emblem on it that you don't recognize, but in place of what would be a water skin or a money pouch is two my god, what's the word? A three-dimensional circle, a sphere, two globes of glass that have this sort of bubbling, roiling gas in them.
Can I take one without getting caught? Oh, say it.
That's
Say it.
you can try.
I'm so scared.
You
I
can.
do.
Yep, you
I
you
do.
lift one easily, silently, and invisibly.
Okay. Cool. I'm
Um,
gonna keep watching this shifty person at the thing,
okay.
at the yoga meeting meditation.
Um, One keen observation that you have is the incredibly well-muscled, half-naked man, three-quarters naked man, has a trio of red lines tattooed just below his eye on the right side of his face. It's not until you come back from stealing from these fish people that you notice that the young kid kicking sand outside also has 3 tattooed lines below his right eye.
Yeah, I want to know what that is. Okay. And I've seen all there is to see at this point, right?
Without going too far from the party, I think that's a fair bit of this particular area of the
Okay,
merchant
so
square.
my intention is to go back and ask about the 3 lines under the tattoo. And I'd also like to be like, this was on the ground. What's this sphere? To the
Are you
couple.
asking the child? Oh, you're gonna go back and ask Tiro and
Yeah,
Asima
yeah,
about.
yeah. I'm not going to go talk to the kids. No. Because I don't know what it means. I don't want to get hurt. I'm safe.
I'm just a baby. Hero. Oh my! Where did you come from?
And I'll be like, I've been here the whole time.
Oh, have you?
People
Must
don't
have
tend to
missed you.
notice me.
She was
Yeah.
behind me.
I apologize for that. Tiro is my name, and he extends his large, calloused hand. And Asima just rolls her eyes again, like, "Oh my god, here we go again. Just puppy's gonna puppy."
I'll say, hello, Tiro. And I'll be like, again, what is this thing I found?
He says, "Oh my, fear gas.
Fear gas?
Fear gas. You probably shouldn't have that.
I'm going to keep it.
As long as you're careful with it, I suppose."
I'm always careful. Sorry, my children are in here being very loud.
No worries. He nods his head. Undoubtedly, it's the one thing I knew for certain the moment I saw you. You were definitely careful.
I'll just
Remember,
smile
our
at him awkwardly.
party is dragging around a bunch of purple crystal that explodes. always careful.
Don't forget
Yeah,
the
I'll be
ball
like,
in the
I'm
Chinatown.
way more careful than that one.
I give
Amon.
trees AIDS. He tells you that there would likely be a finder's fee if you were to return that to the guard. Technically speaking,
Yeah.
only the guard is supposed to have them.
Then we definitely
Say,
want to keep
great.
one.
Great. Thank you.
Always happy to help, especially newcomers.
Again, I'm just going to smile awkwardly like condescending dick. Oh, I'm more skilled than you on the worst day of my life in my head. This is my commentary.
Mm-hmm. You had told me that you wanted to ask him about Kamal's tattoo. Is that still the case?
Yeah. And I'll be like, hey, when you weren't noticing me standing right here the whole time, I may or may not have noticed a strange looking man and what I'm assuming is his child with 3 lines under their eyes tattooed. What's the tattoo?
He says, "That's
What's
indeed
that?
well spotted. That's Kamal. It's his tribal heritage, I believe. Sweetheart, what is the one below his eyes? Is that the one for courage or for bloodlust?" And she goes, "Oh my god, it's none of those. It's in the ones there are the 3 spirits of enduring bravery. Every member of Kamal's tribe must have one. His son Marcus, once he came of age, just got his." So sad about his mother, though.
What happened to his mother?
Oh, she passed last year.
How did she pass?
Oh, a terrible, violent fever, if memory serves. Nothing could be done to help her. Ravaged the poor thing's body. Was tough for Marcus to watch.
Yeah. I don't know how I would do if someone in my family died. And I'm
Marcus is his
awkwardly
son.
looking around like, someone please talk. I don't want to talk. No more talking with words.
Yeah, Marcus is the son who's kicking dirt outside the hut. You sort of piece
Let's-
together now that he's just anxiously waiting for his dad to be done with whatever his dad does for profession stuff, and he just wants to hang out.
So let's get back to my loincloth, and then we can go and talk to Kamal.
He tells you that having looked at it, this loincloth may be what we would in the business call beyond repair, but he'd be willing to furnish you with a fresh new one for the cost of a repaired loincloth, and just as a general service to the community, he'll destroy this old one.
How much?
He thinks he can have it done by first light tomorrow for 10 copper.
Sold.
Are we playing peekaboo?
I'm playing with the kids in the market. Perpetual big
He's
sister.
just an NPC.
Okay.
Just another NPC.
Tiro says to come back for any of the gear that you guys need repaired by first light tomorrow. We should be done with it. If you need him and Asima to guide you around the village, he's happy to do that. Although he does point up at the sky and say the sun's getting awfully low. I don't know if anyone's told you here, but no one is permitted to be out after the sun sets.
Why is that? We knew that the forest was dangerous to be wandering through at dark, but I thought that the city would be safe.
He says the upper ring nearest the pyramid hasn't had an incursion in it for as long as he's lived here, but down here on the lower spokes, the shadows still come. Terrible, hungry things at night. It's best to always stay in the building. And thank God for the guard and their fear gas. It seems to keep us safe.
We'll
Is
need
there an
to find
inn?
accommodations. Is there an inn? Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Well, honestly, if you're gonna talk to Kamal anyway, he's got spare room. On the other end of the spoke, if you were going to get that far into the city today, there's plenty of accommodations to be had. You may even want to talk to some people in town. They might be able to get you someplace for free as a accidental visitor to the Oasis. Flop is the de facto governor of this area. He might be able to help you.
Flop.
We definitely want to meet Flop.
I heard "bop" as in bear.
Bop?
Flop as in foxtrot. Foxtrot
Okay.
Lima Oscar Papa. Flop. He says, yeah, Flop would probably be willing to help you. Or maybe Nato. He probably has the inside track to a free room. I don't know. Anywhere you want to go, we'd be happy to help.
Well, we'll need to make our way inland at some point. We have business to tend to toward the center of the city, so let's make our way there.
Since they've been very helpful, do we want to ask them about Motto?
Sure. If they know an artisan by that name.
Yeah.
They just said one of the people that might have the inside track to an introduction with Flop is a being named Nato.
Oh,
great. That's
I'm
where
sorry.
We want to go.
Yeah.
He says
Sorry, I had Amato and Nato backwards.
that he'd be happy to take you if he can get Asima started on the repairs, or if you want to wait until after dinner meal. If you guys want to
Are we
eat with
having
them.
stuff repaired? We bought their items. I thought that was good.
Oh, can we please be done peopling? I hate this.
Well, no, I was just asking if we had any items that we were leaving with them to get repaired.
Just Hoppy's loincloth, so he's currently freeballing it.
I see. No
As far as I
loner
know, that was it.
loincloth?
No loiner, no loner loiners, if you will.
Okay.
On your desired list was to talk to Kamal and Marcus about something, I don't know. Somebody said they wanted to talk to Odelia about being able to stabilize the Kyrite. You also want to track down Motto. No, not yeah.
Not Motto.
Motto. I don't. Yeah, sorry, that was my fault for making that as confusing as possible. Motto. To track him down and see if he can introduce you to Flop and/or talk to him about his brother.
Yes.
That's a lot to do. Is there an order in which you'd like to do them?
I think let's start with the arrows because I don't know, aside from just learning more about how people got to this place and how time passes here. Like, we wanted to talk to people who had been here longer than these two.
That was Kamal and
But
Vera.
the governor, assuming that he rose to that rank, should be one of those people who's been here a long time. So I'm okay going to the people that we have specific tasks with versus randomly meeting new people. Unless anyone opposes.
I want to have a flex off with Kamal, and then we can go.
Okay.
Hose off. As you pass, the studio has been emptied, and now a wicker man has been inset in the floor, and his son is punching and kicking at it as Kamal watches and uses an elongated reed to target the next area to be struck as he coaches his son. Do you want to talk to Kamal, or are we going straight to Odelia? I wasn't sure if I understood correctly.
I don't have a reason to talk to them. I was just joking about the flex off.
Okay. Then
Although it sounds like he might be a monk or a fighter of some sort. Is there any reason why we want to interact with him for professional reasons, Oni?
I guess we could ask if there is an arena here that we can fight in.
Is that yes? You want to stop and talk to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He, as soon as you cross the threshold, snaps the reed against his own thigh loud enough to create a clap, and his son stops and bows at him, and takes a knee. Kamal, with a very, very soft and surprisingly gentle voice, welcomes you into his arena and asks what he can do for you today. Have you come for meditation?
No, we are
I like
fighters by trade. What were you going to say, Hoppy?
my meditation is punching things. Well, hitting things, but
I too once walked the path of rage.
We're curious.
no longer.
No, now I can no longer give in to those fits of fury for his sake.
What do you do around here?
I'm a member of the militia, and I teach meditation. I teach exercise classes. Generally make sure anybody who wants to get more fit, emotionally or physically, has their needs met.
And how long have you been here?
In the Oasis or in this shop?
In the Oasis.
He says, time is a funny thing. I suppose it's difficult to rationalize time anywhere, but it's especially challenging here. If I had to guess, I would say I've been here 26 years.
So a long time. Am I aware of the fair? Did we talk for Tiro and Seema? Did we actually talk about how long they've been there? So would I know that
we estimate around 70.
Estimate 70 years. So
We didn't tell them that, did we?
You did not.
I didn't.
No.
But I that would have been Amon would have had to share that with us. So okay. Was there anything else we needed to know from him? Oh, is there a place that we can play our trade as fighters and ne'er do wells? Occasionally do wells.
He tells you that there is a great ring here that he himself has longed to fight in, the ring of ancestral glory.
Now that
However,
is 100%
Oh, hell yeah.
someplace that we want to go.
it is by invitation only.
How does one acquire an
Oh.
invitation?
By advancing
the
one's station.
What?
By advancing one's station.
Well, I'm a visitor, and if I stay overnight, then I'm a guest. So that would be advancing my station, right? Would that get me in?
He tells you that now everyone here adheres to the Regent Mother Lillipilipai's decree that we must all dedicate ourselves to excellence and advancement. Only by advancing will we be recognized, and only through recognition do you participate in the higher echelon activities, such as being invited into the ring.
Well, we tend to stand out no matter where we go, so hopefully that will work to our advantage this time.
Just so.
Okay. I can't think of anything else to talk to him about, so unless he happens to have some barbarian knowledge he wishes to share with me, I'm ready to move on.
No, but he does tell you that if you ever want to leave the path of rage behind, he can teach you how to find inner serenity.
For when you retire. You'll have to come back here.
I'm retiring. I have a menagerie. I have pets. I'm going to have lots of little goats. I am going to learn goat yoga.
Would he and his son want to join us when we leave this place?
He thinks it's an amusing desire. Long have I wished my son to see the outside world. For his entire life, all he's known are these streets.
Would you
None
come to
can leave.
the menagerie and become my goat yoga mentor?
I would be happy to teach your goats yoga. Would you find a means to escape this place?
Okay, we'll be back.
You can tell, like, as you leave, there's an awkward conversation between Marcus and Kamal about what is a goat. Where Marcus has never seen a goat.
He just says it kind of looks like that and points at Hobby.
Well, one of those. On the way out, he does mention to Draco that he has exercise classes twice a day, most days of the week, if he wants to stop by.
Nice.
What the fuck does that mean?
I looked at
All right,
him.
I want to.
know better.
I want to go find some green smoke.
Yep, green smoke. Next stop.
As advertised, once you turn the corner at the end of this way, there's kind of like a T intersection that sort of branches down. So actually, I guess it's more like a crescent, like a smile, than it is a T. But looking to your left, about 4 buildings down from the end of this merchant's row, you do see not a huge plume, but a steady stream of lime green smoke sort of slowly rising up out of the building, and it seems caustic enough that the entire facade and upper doorway of the building has been stained green. There's no shingle, but you can't imagine there are many businesses with puffs of green smoke emanating from them. Seems likely that's your spot.
I'm gonna go in.
Nice.
Nice.
As you step into the shop,
Fancy.
and an ethereal bell tolls. Dong dong!
New graphics, John?
Hello.
She looks up from her work. Be with you in one moment. She's mixing 2 things. in a large stone bowl, you can see liquid that begins to seemingly start to like boil. It's shaking and bubbling, but there's no fire that you can see. And she suddenly looks like she's misplaced something and starts scanning the workshop and the shelves all around her for a thing, and finds a hemisphere of glass just in time to cup it over the top as what's in the stone crucible goes poof and explodes, captured entirely in this glass hemisphere. And she then puts it aside as whatever's happening is coming to rest. Welcome to my shop. What can I do for you? Oh, I don't know you. She takes off her glasses as she rests them on her head. Who are you?
Greetings and blessings. My name is Amon. I was told that you might be able to help me stabilize something rather
Exciting.
She says
explosive.
she doesn't think you need stabilization. A unique personality is a good thing. Don't change who you are.
Oh, I take things for that too, but I was talking about something else. And I pull out the just a couple of the little crystals. I would like to make these into arrowheads, but I was told that this is foolish, and you might be able to help me uh, make this slightly less foolish.
It is foolish. You were right. Haha, just kidding. I can probably help. Where did you find these? This is Kyrite.
I found it in a cave.
Oh, surprise, surprise. An unearthed mineral from the deep bowels of the earth you found in a cave. Could you be any more specific for me?
I love her
I
smartass.
could be, but I feel like you've been here long enough to not have any reference for what I would tell you. So what's the point?
That seems fair. Very well.
Did you just call her
how
old?
much of it? How much of it do you have?
I just take out like
Puts
two
her
large
glasses on immediately
handfuls.
and ducks behind the table. What the hell are you doing with that? A, that's far too much Kyrite to just be carrying it around, and have you never considered putting it in some kind of containment vessel? It's
I mean,
highly
I have
volatile,
this.
sir.
I had it wrapped in leaves in my bag, but
Oh, leaves,
I also
yes.
move.
Notoriously
I move
indestructible
very.
leaves.
I move very smoothly.
Except for right now, I guess.
I just look at her blankly. Huh?
She takes her index finger and motions for you to just please place it on the table, and then step back.
Just set it down.
Because I'll first need to examine its quality and grade. Whilst I do that, perhaps you'd like to peruse my menu. He gets out
Avian grace.
a small metallic set of calipers and like a weird scalpel and just goes to work examining it. Kind of right in the middle of where you guys are looking and shopping, but she's now like in the tank. You can tell she's very focused on her work when she gets that way. But has handed you the shop list of potions that she has for sale.
Um, what is this potion of mind's bliss? Is that smokable or drinkable?
It's ingested. It's a liquid.
What does it do?
It says for 20 gold you can find out.
Ooh, I got some stuff like that.
She says, "What's the happiest memory you have? What is the most enjoyable moment of your entire life? How much would you pay to relive it for an hour?"
Ah.
20 gold seems like a steal.
We don't mess around with that kind of magic.
Oh, yes, we do. What are you
This
talking
one reeks of mushrooms. You absolutely do.
about?
Yeah.
Nope. Uh-uh.
I try to look forward. Let the past stay in the past.
But I bring out my distillation that I still have. A nice little mystery potion. Ask if she'd be interested in buying this for, let's say, 15 gold.
She asks what it
I
is.
think
It doesn't appear to be a potion she's familiar with.
It's one of those fun little gambles, so to speak. It's a nice little potion that it has a handful of possible positives and a handful of positive or possible negatives. It's a lot of fun.
Why on earth would I want to drink that? If I want a potion for a positive effect, I make a potion that has a positive effect and I imbibe that potion. And that way it never has any of the negative side effects.
But this
Talking about
could
things
be
like
fun.
madness.
Exactly. You spice things up around here a little bit, right?
She says maybe it would be interesting to have on the shelf. 7 gold.
Like you said yourself, you've never heard of this one. You know, it's kind of rare in this area. 12.
He thinks about it and agrees.
Great.
He'll buy your desultory distillation for 12 gold. And she immediately marks it at 50 gold and puts it on her shelf.
God damn it.
What is the potion of avian grace?
Chuckling as she just like wraps her nail against the tincture that she just purchased from Draco. She says that makes you really fast and dexterous and graceful. Gives you hollow bones.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
The cough part was by giving you hollow bones. Like a bird.
I have 4
I
jars
heard.
of crushed black powder. I'm wondering if she's interested in my powder.
Oh, sweetie,
Okay, I'll
you've got a
pull it.
pocket full of
That's not
mold?
how we
No, I'm not
roleplay.
interested.
Do you know what this does?
Do you know
I'm
what
gonna
it does?
take. Yes. No. What is it?
He puts her glasses on and steps back. Show me.
I'm going to pour out some of the powder, and then I'm going to cast. What do I have? Lightning bolt? What's the thing that I have?
I mean, isn't
Hold
it
on,
a
I'm
drug?
sorry.
Shouldn't she just take it?
Firebolt, witch bolt, something. And a purple lightning bolt just appears and be like, ooh, see? Cool stuff. You just need the magic part of it. Actually, I'm going to be like, here, I'll give you 1 vial. You tell me. We're going to go away for a few days, and when we come back, if you want to buy the rest, you can, but I'll give you 1 to experiment with.
She accepts that offer. If you give her one to experiment with, she will see what she would do with it, and if she likes it, she'll buy it.
Are we the bad
Cool.
guys?
No, we're opportunists.
No, Renan's just a drug dealer.
We're just Breaking Bad.
Is that the drugs that we took off the people from like forever ago?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what
Pretty
else
sure
it would be.
You weren't with us when we turned the rest in for a reward to the guard at the city. And I think you have the last bit of it's Black Lotus, right?
I have
No,
yeah,
I
and
think we
then
found some more in a cave.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, in one of the rogue boxes.
guys,
Yep.
I also have
A tree stump, actually.
2 vials of acid. I also have magic mushrooms. Like, I'm just literally a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Got shrooms, acid, cocaine. All right. She's interested in experimenting with your Black Lotus, and seeing what kind of alchemical properties it may or may not have. Leaving her that small sample. If she likes it, she'll purchase it. If she doesn't, she'll pay you for the sample. Amon, after a few minutes of trying to figure out its quality and grade, she tells you this is actually almost pure kyrite, which is exciting for her. Just in the world of what can be done with it, she believes if she were to hone it down to its core, that she could potentially employing her alchemical genius, stabilize some fragments of it that she could then shape into. Well, I guess at that point they'd just be exploding arrowheads, wouldn't they?
Yup.
That's the plan.
He says that if she's going to take this consignment, she wants you to understand she can guarantee nothing. It's highly volatile. That if a mistake is made, it will explode, and she's not responsible for the loss of product.
Would you take some of the remaining crystal in trade for your labor? For your
Depending
own
on how much
purposes?
is left salvageable, she will consider some of it as part in trade, but she will likely need gold in trade for the finished product of exploding arrowheads. Because she doesn't know if you know, but the law here is that you're not allowed to have something like that. She doesn't particularly agree with following the letter of the law, so she's willing to outfit you with that, but she is technically breaking the law, and so for her taking that risk, she wants to be compensated. Though it's only a small matter of a couple of arrowheads. It's not like I'm giving you guys fear gas.
Yeah, it's not that.
I'm gonna look pointedly
Um,
at Renan and raise one eyebrow.
I'm going to
yeah,
actively
I'm
ignore that.
I'm just gonna push the rest of the crystal across the table very cautiously and say, "Do your thing."
Jelly bean.
And also, what's a cur? What's a ration of cur?
Kerful.
Oh, she says that the name of the temple here at the center of our oasis is named the Temple of Kher-Sur, and I've I'm a big fan of wordplay, so I've made careful rations. These are shelf-stable food items that they don't naturally spoil. They will literally last forever.
But do
Gotta
they
be a
taste?
trick.
They will literally last forever.
That's right. Okay.
Do we need to get some of those for the next week?
Yeah, I'll buy a couple rations for myself, just with some monies. I mean, I know that we don't really need to buy rations. We kind of do that every once in a while, but
As you consider buying rations, she does point to the sign that says "No change." So while they do only cost 2 silver, she only deals in gold pieces. So either buy 5 rations at a time, or know that you're spending a gold for whatever number of rations you get.
yeah, I'll spend a gold.
They are wrapped individually in little square bricks in sort of like a wax-lined papyrus, and they don't smell like anything, which is weird that a food item can have no smell whatsoever. Not promising about its taste, but she does claim that each one has all of the nutrition you need for an entire day's worth of eating, and they are never going to perish.
Lumbus bread.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And asks if there's anything else tapping the menu that she could interest you in. If not, I have fear gas to create. If you'll leave me to it.
I'm good. Thank you. I'll
I
see
just
you.
need a name for
When
the
should I
order
return?
form. This will take me at least all day tomorrow. If you want to stop by just before sunset tomorrow, I might have at least one done that you could sample or practice with. Maybe all of them. I have no idea exactly how big a task this is going to end up being, but certainly not any earlier than end of day tomorrow.
I will return. Thank you.
I just need a name for the order form.
Renan.
Renan. Weird, I always thought Renan was a girl's name.
He's not a girl. He's a mon.
Uh,
I'm not even sure if he's a mon anymore. Throwing me under the bus like
Draco, for some reason, she has pegged you as somebody who's unscrupulous.
Huh.
But as people walk out the door, ding, 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 as each of them leaves, a whisper washes across your face, and it's not like she didn't speak, but a voice whispering in your ear asks if you'd like to see anything from behind the counter.
Brow raises a little bit, and sure, I nod.
As you turn around, she presses a button, and a small section of the counter recesses and slides over, and there's a display case that has 2 items in it that look like this. One of them is an obviously freshly bottled green gas ampule that you now are taken to understand is a fear gas bomb. And the other thing is a implement she's been working on that she calls the lock melter.
Ooh.
He says you seem like the kind of person who gets himself into or frequently needs to get himself out of tricky situations.
More so than I like to admit. Let's see the lock melter. What you're looking for?
He says she can give it to you, a clearly discerning man of fine taste, for 50 gold.
How about 40?
He accepts the offer of 40.
All right, do 40.
Once the gold is exchanged, she says, "Ha! I'd have taken 35."
God damn it. They're like, well, because you're cute. There you go.
Remember, if you get caught with that, you don't know where you got it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you very much.
Get caught with what?
That is the correct response.
Okay, go put that in my little thing.
Put you guys back here for now. After dealing with Odelia, it's getting pretty late in the afternoon. Probably time to find somebody to talk about your accommodations for the evening so you're not caught outside after dark. Is there anything else you guys want to do before that? Or should we try to track down Motto and see if he's got an inside track to Flop, or if you want to see if you can stay at Kamal's place?
I like the idea of staying at Kamal's place.
Same here.
Do Kamal, or
Oh.
do we want to go find Motto because he was the one that we needed to talk to?
Sure, whatever.
All right, let's go talk to him real quick, Motto.
And
And
he had
then,
a room as well.
Motto is a not well known, but known enough artisan in the lower city that people are able to direct you to the shop where his art is currently displayed. They don't know whether or not he'll be in today, but you can certainly stop by his gallery and take a look. Yes, we'd like to go there. Okay, let's head there.
yes, sorry. Yes, let's go.
Sorry, talking about donuts. Very important.
I got that. Yep. Donuts greater than D&D. You are able to track down Motto, and he is in his studio, although he's closing up for the day and is starting to head out. The door is still open and unlocked, but you can tell like he's closed business for the day and is just taking some freshly painted goods, putting them in a sack and rolling them up into a tube.
He doesn't happen to have a little human slave boy, does he? He looks like he may have one.
If
The
not, are you
hell
like,
kind of a question?
that is it seems like that's a specific reference to something I didn't understand.
If
Yeah,
not,
I'm
we'd
like,
like
Star
to
Wars.
volunteer.
Oh, Watto, got it.
Watto, yeah.
Hey, I'm the only one here in about who has one.
Yeah.
It was a really creepy way you phrased that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you have a little slave boy?
How to make episode 1 about sex trafficking.
Well, you know, you look at it that way, it's very possible.
This kid knows how to use the force, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Now this is pod racing.
That touch.
Buddy.
Full circle.
As you approach, Mato just says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're closed for the day. Thank you very, very much for your patronage and your continued interest in my magnificent art, but you'll have to come back tomorrow. I'm sorry, just terribly busy now. Thank you. Thank you, bye." And then he has to take a drink of water and wash it through his gills so that if he wanted to, he could continue to speak in that human voice. He's a little perplexed that like 10 seconds later you guys are still just standing in his doorway.
We heard that you may
Okay,
have
bye.
a place for travelers to stay.
I have a storefront here. You can't sleep in my gallery. That would be unacceptable.
What do you do? What does he do?
I am a Makers Guild artisan. Obviously, he points to the sash that he's wearing around his shoulder. It has 3 gold like badges on it. Like if you want to picture like a Boy Scouts sash with like merit badges on it, it's not entirely dissimilar from that. You don't know this civilization in the order, but like his 3 little badges apparently are a huge deal to him, and set him aside from the riffraff, is your estimation. Looks at you and goes, "Oh, I don't know you.
No,
Why don't I know you?"
we just got into town.
Yeah.
Oh, you're newly lost.
We're not lost.
We found.
We're exactly where we mean to be.
Well, you're not yet found, so in my world, you're lost.
We don't need to be found.
Well, you're going to end up in the dungeon if you keep bandying words with every person you come across.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Sand is so dry and coarse, and it gets everywhere.
I don't remember why we were looking for Mono. I remember
Because
that
of his
Mono-
brother
His
Nato.
brother.
And I'll say, actually, oh, do you have a bag that you're loudly flapping in the air in here? How convenient for D&D, my son. I quit.
There it is.
I'm just
It's
gonna
adding
tell
to
him.
the
Well,
ambiance of shopping at the market.
Nato said that you might be able to help us out. I don't know if it's Motto or Nato. Okay, whatever. Whoever is the brother.
Nato is the one that we met earlier.
Then Motto said you might be able to help us out.
No, Nato is the one we met earlier.
I don't care anymore.
First, you might be able to help us out, second brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Otto.
I'm just calling them Ottos.
Little autocorrect from Otto and Nato.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they also have a sister whose name is Dotto.
No.
He says that he doesn't know who Nato is, but he doesn't know how anybody could say anything about what he could or couldn't offer you. Well, the best he could possibly hope to do is put you in contact with the regional governor Flop, who handles all of the unfound and hopefully helps them to become found. But that's the best he can do. And he checks the watch he doesn't have. It's getting very late.
You're telling me you don't remember the name of your own brother?
Ma'am, if you'll back up, please, ma'am.
I will not.
I don't have a brother.
You had a brother at one point, and he's still alive and well, and thinks of you. And your mother.
I am an only child. I've never had a brother. I often thought it would be interesting to have had a brother. In fact, I sometimes have vivid daydreams and even nighttime dreams of what it would be like to have a brother. So vivid, I could almost feel like they were real. But why am I telling you all of this? I don't have a brother, and the best I can do is put you in contact with the regional governor Flop. Now, if you would please move.
You do have a brother.
Did you hurt your head at some point?
You might not remember him. Your mother sent him away because he wasn't as talented as you.
Well, He shrugs. That would certainly make sense. I am quite talented. It's hard to imagine someone who could be my peer or my equal. But no, that's ridiculous. My mother wouldn't send anyone away regardless of their talent, and I have no brother. Since Tadpole, I have been the only member of our family.
Well, we can solve this by you taking us to your mother.
No, you would not be permitted anywhere near where my mother lives. Again, the best I can do is introduce you to Flop, and please, we're running out of sunlight here. The sun is getting awfully low, and you don't want to be caught out here at dark.
Allow me to use my mermaid voice potion and try to charm him into taking us
Me
to
too.
his mother. That would get us deeper into the city.
Mhm.
I'm using my mermaid's voice elixir.
Do you not still have to roll? I don't.
It says you cast charm monster you can cast charm monster once while under the effect of the potion, but only on creatures with the innate swimming speed and water breathing with a CR inferior or equal to your proficiency bonus. Charisma is the casting ability. I don't know what any of that means. I just read you what you had written.
I'm reading this spell.
But I do get advantage and double proficiency bonus on my performance skill checks for the next hour.
Okay. I'm going to make my wisdom saving throw as you ingest the elixir, which tastes awful. It is repugnant to your taste buds. But as you do, externally you see that Oni develops two small gill slits just below her jawline on either side of her face, and you have this haunting sort of sonorific effect to your voice now that echoes and chimes, reverberating in the air like it might underwater. And as you speak to him, he seems compelled by your argument. Um, he just like instead of he just his shoulders slouch and like he doesn't have quite the standoffish posture that he had before. I don't even know what to do with this. Miss, I assure you I don't have a brother. Talking to my mother would only confirm that she has only one son, and that son is me. I truly don't have time to waste with this. What is it you want from me, truly?
What is your mother's name? Please tell me it's Chocolate.
Sir, what is your mother's name?
I actually have that written down somewhere.
We wish to get an invitation to fight in the arena, and we have business here in toward the center of the Oasis. Your mother can help us access that point. I'd also like to know why you allow your brother to live in isolation outside of the safety of the city.
I don't
Don't say it.
have a brother. I understand that you land dwellers can sometimes be slow, but I thought if I slowed my speech down, perhaps it would be more clear for you.
Perhaps we have the wrong motto then. Tell me,
Perhaps.
are there many other mottos in the settlement who are artisans?
Uh, Hearing this is going to return him to the circular argument that he's already in. He is reluctant to admit that he is the only motto he knows of.
Then you are the one that we seek.
He tells you that because you are good friends, he will only speak to Oni, but his mother's name is Bira, and she is the keeper of customs, a station of high honor and regard.
And she won't
The one
like a
that wasn't
visit
hot.
from her one and only son, then. Please take us to her.
I need you to make a persuasion roll. Don't forget to add your bonuses from the potion.
Performance? That does performance.
I want it as a persuasion roll, if that's okay.
Ha!
Apparently, it's plenty good.
Nice.
Yeah, boy.
You make a very
Stop
persuasive
parsing my.
argument that, based on the setting sun and the limited time and the fact that you'll hold him here and we'll deal with whatever night terrors come after the sun sets together, and maybe they'll recognize whether or not you have a brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, putting it that way, he agrees to take you to see Abira, his mother, who will put this all to bed, and tells you that this will reflect poorly um, in your advancement review, that you were so stubborn and so interested in perpetrating a lie. But nonetheless, he'll take you to Bira.
That might mean something to me if I had any intention of staying here. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll be leaving this oasis.
So many have said that.
I'm gonna walk by and say, "Stop harshing my gig so hard, Cruster.
Oh my
So hard,
god.
so hardcore, Cruster."
Son-in-law. I almost was like, we can Rochambeau for it. Shoe lose the pillow. That's a Biodome reference. Shoe lose the blanket. Oh.
Ooh. Hello. Everybody wave.
You want to say hi, Zeke? No, they're on here. They're all waving at you.
My gosh.
Hi, bud.
Okay.
Alright, is
All
he
right.
taking us?
Yes. After some hemming and hawing, you walk about half a mile through the central portion of the merchant area into a slightly elevated, like raised in terms of height above sand level, into an area that's much nicer. You pass a guard checkpoint that Motto is able to clear for you, and eventually you are taken to a very ornate temple-like structure that has two reciprocating waterfalls that basically like collect into a basin and then are fed back up to their point. So it's just this always cascading water effect. And here you are introduced to Bira, the keeper of customs and mother of Motto, and allegedly by you, Nato.
Allegedly.
Um,
That's a pretty nice place you got here.
Speaks in the Kuatoa native tongue to her son. He speaks back to her. They both seem to have quite a bit of affection for one another. He introduces Oni as a friend, but does not really recognize the other four of you, and says that he knows that this is a huge departure from protocol, but his friend Oni needed to ask you a question and would not take his word for it. And she says, despite the breach in protocol, she'd be willing to entertain a friend of her son for a single question, but wants you to know that whether you are lost or a foundling, you have no business in this temple. This is a religious place, that she herself is an acolyte of Jubi Miglig, unless you wish to become a worshipper of Jubi Miglig, or
Okay.
until you advance your station, you won't be allowed in this place ever again.
Does Sari know what we're supposed to do here in the Oasis? Like, what is her business here? I know that we're here under her order.
Mm-hmm. You are looking for the third piece of Horus's armor. He left you remnants of himself for you guys to recover. She needs to recover all four pieces and fulfill his destiny for her. just like that one was put in the vault in Beiju, a similar vault-like structure exists inside the Temple of Kher-Sur. Just she was not expecting all of this to have grown up around that temple.
I see.
So your ultimate goal is to find a piece of the legacy of Horus somewhere in the Temple of Kher-Sur, which apparently is the center of their city that is deeply sacred.
Is this the Horus chicken base?
Yep. Horus
Yeah.
chicken face.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we seek something deep within the city, and need to demonstrate our worth and value as champions in order to access it. Can you get us access to, or can you get us an invitation to fight in, it's the arena of, what is
Ring
it
of
called?
Ancestral
I just wanted to
Glory.
see if you were going to get there. That's the ancestral ring.
Ancestral ring.
The ring of ancestral glory. She is confused and wants to know why she should do you favors. What what do you bring to her? How will you exalt her? What benefit do you bring for Bira? What benefit do you bring for Mato? Why have you disturbed his evening? Why have you brought yourself into this place and disturbed my day?
As a token, we bring you greetings from your son Nato, who lives in the forests surrounding the oasis.
He looks confused at you and doesn't know who Nato is.
Hell.
So essentially, if anyone leaves this city because of time, they just cease to exist to people within the city?
He says she doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand your discussion about time, and she's never met a person named Nato.
What year do you think this is? How long have you been here? Or I guess, what year was it when you entered the oasis?
She does not know. She was born in the Oasis. She says this is her 9th cycle.
How long is a cycle?
You think that's a matter of like just years? She's saying she's 9 years old.
And how old is Mato?
Son,
Yes.
if a mother's memory is correct, he shall be turning 5 next month. And I couldn't be more proud of him.
And you've never ventured outside of the oasis?
There is no outside of the Oasis for us.
I can guarantee you that there is an outside of the oasis, as that's where we ventured in from.
Oh, no doubt. All of the troubled, forsaken people have to come from somewhere.
I'm at a loss. Do you guys have any ideas?
She
There's
to your eyes and ears genuinely does not seem to know who Nato is. Seems very proud of her son Mato. Those emotions seem genuine to you, but for a reason unknown to you, she does not know Nato, and under direct examination claims to have only ever had one son. He says honestly she had a longing if things had gone the ideal way she had planned. She wanted Mato to have a brother. She remembers longing, wishing for a second son or perhaps a daughter, but that wish has gone unfulfilled.
Do you ever have dreams of a second son?
He starts to nod yes, but then like guards herself and says that her dreams are none of your business.
If we can bring you your son, will you get us that invitation?
you would bring to me a son I've only ever dreamt of.
Yes.
That would make you workers of miracles indeed. That would do. I could introduce you to whomever you would like to be introduced to within our society. You could manufacture a son I've never known.
If we present someone to you, will you have a way to confirm that he is your son biologically? And not just someone who we say is your son?
He says, "Don't you believe a mother would know?"
You would think so, but you don't seem to know that you forced your son into exile. And that he lives half a day's distance from you.
She says, "That just simply isn't the case. I'm sorry you're so misinformed."
Does he was missing some fingers? Could we bring that up, like in your dreams? Do you know, or your son is missing fingers? Is that correct?
I don't. He asks Motto to show his hands, and Motto has all 6 digits.
Your other son in your dreams. Do you recall seeing his hands? Were they normal?
He has no clear recollection.
Then I'm going to ask Motto. Do you recall the hands of your brother in your dreams?
He says he does not, but that seems like a granular detail that from a dream he's likely not to remember.
Could we show them the coin and see if they react to that? This is something that we purchased from Nato, and who has told us that he was your kin. Can we provide this as a? Does this bring back any knowledge, any memories?
No. And rationally, it probably wouldn't if that's something he only found after his supposed exile. It would have no connection to his brother or his mother.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if
You guys, I wonder if there's
Go ahead.
like a child, then there is some type of like a magic that erases their memories of someone that's exiled.
That's why I asked if there's any way to guarantee that, like, biologically speaking, he is her son. It makes no difference for us to bring him back if she's just gonna stand there and stare at him as a stranger and say, I still don't know who this man is. It'd be a huge waste of time. But if there's some way to guarantee
Right, but I almost wonder if we need to ask. I feel like we need to do more research and like ask the shopkeepers, like, when someone gets exiled, do y'all not remember him? Like, is there a ritual for that? Who would we talk to?
Possibly
Vera is the keeper of customs. She was likely she's the best person to ask about their customs and traditions.
Do you recall any person that has been exiled?
Yes, she says every so often, not rarely, but infrequently, a member of our society either violates a rule that is gross or disparaging, or simply cannot fulfill their potential, and then there's no room for them in our society, and they are exiled.
And do you not document these exiles in any way so that you can go back and see who has been exiled?
She admits that that's not a thing that they've done.
Can you recall any by name?
There was a large, gluttonous man, a giant, pink, fleshy man. Theron was his name, and he was the last person I recall exiling. His gluttony knew no bounds, and he ate more than his share and stole from others, and simply could not fold into our society neatly.
What was his name?
Theron?
Theron?
Theron.
Theron, yes. When did Theron? When was Theron exiled?
Oh, perhaps 2 years ago? She says that she has taken to understand that there's an entire city, a small village of these loathsome people that live outside of the bounds of our beautiful sanctuary. You have questions about the exile, perhaps you could ask them yourself.
I despise
I
this
don't.
woman.
Because before that, there was the insidious case of the tadpole devourer. We had a corrupt member of our own inner sanctum who ate our small younglings while they were still tadpole. Our way is not to execute. The only extreme penalty we had was excommunication. Before that, I simply can't remember. There might have been some when I was a young woman, but I don't remember those. Those are the only two I can recall during my tenure as Keeper of Customs.
Who was the previous keeper of customs?
She scratches the frill on her right ear. I don't remember.
There's a
Isn't
lot
that
of
odd?
things you don't remember.
I would not say a lot, ma'am. I have perfect recall for many things. Now that you've asked me this question, I can't seem to think.
You don't remember a second
So
son?
you don't
I don't
remember who
have
you.
a second son. Surely I
So
had a
says you.
predecessor, and I just can't remember who had this post before I did. It's not like we
How
were
long
close
have
or
you had
acquainted.
this? How long have you had
I have been
this
Keeper of
post?
Customs for 4 years.
And you don't remember anything previous to the 4 years, or do you remember things previous to the 4 years?
I can remember my entire childhood. I remember growing up here. I remember working hard to advance. I remember becoming a member of the inner circle. I remember my appointment to Keeper of Customs post. I remember raising my only son here in the inner sanctum. I remember being so proud of him and nurturing his amazing autistic talent. I remember his acceptance into the Makers Guild. I remember everything with perfect clarity. You wish to question my wisdom or my value simply because I can't remember one name.
Do you
Sure, it will come to me. I can't think of it just now.
uh,
It's almost like we need to go back and buy that potion and give it to her, so she remembers having 2 kids.
what potion?
The happy
The one that
memories
makes you
one?
remember your happiest most.
Oh, we could try that if you think she'd do it.
I don't know how we get back. The only way that we got here in the first place was me using the potion to charm the guy to bringing us here.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and that's kind of why I'm trying to come up with anything. I haven't taken good notes.
While you guys are continuing to chat up Bira, there's since you guys are going to draw the inference yourself, a deep resonating sound echoes in the area outside and in the valley of the Oasis here, and it's the sound. It sounds like a flatulence. It's like an air bladder being squeezed hard.
What was that?
Bira notes the sound and says, "Ah, sunset is upon us." With a long exhale, she says, "The custom of nightfall requires that I offer you safe haven this evening, since you will undoubtedly be caught out if you were to leave this place now. If you are interested, I have several rooms that would be more than accommodating for you to spend the evening in. Although I'll have no more discussion about accusing me of abandoning a son I've never met.
Perfect. We graciously accept your hospitality.
Is there anything that we can do to help her in repayment for this hospitality? I point out that I am a uh, big person capable of carrying heavy objects.
Nope. And you can tell from the way she's doing this, she doesn't want to. She's more like compelled by the rules of their society to offer you this custom of hospitality. So it's more like
Fully aware.
I have to do this, and there's no expectation of repayment. There's no in-kind action required of you.
Just hoping to get on her good side. Okay. Find a room.
There are 4 rooms that she has available, which means one of you gets a bunkmate.
Renan and I can share a room. Well, I guess Renan and Sari and I.
Okay. Girls and
Poppy's
boys.
gonna air out.
If there's no other activities, we can fast forward through the night.
I want to, try to get a hold of Renan and go, or Sari, go. Okay, so is this not the temple that would possibly have what we're looking for? That we could go explore here at, that way that we get the opportunity.
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 I need 1 sec during the evening. This is a question for Caleb the player. If I had something for you, do you want to have a private conversation about it, since you would be alone in your room when this happened, or would you like to share that information publicly?
What's the nature of it?
It involves the lamp.
I mean, you can just tell it publicly, and then I will choose to relay the information or not, I guess. Like I don't want to automatically tell everyone.
Sure.
But
go do your private secret messages. That's fine. That's part of the fun.
Listening.
All right, then let's hop down
Okay.
to private for a second.
All right. Shaboom.
Whilst you're falling to sleep, the lights that emanate from the lamp grow much brighter than normal and begin to strobe. You can see now that the lamp around its base, where the welding is, has 3 distinct clear, maybe diamonds or maybe glass quartz crystals. You really can't tell, but you never noticed them before. And as you do, you can hear a disembodied voice whisper. It resonates against the glass, giving it almost a metallic after effect to it, and tells you that long have I been bound in this vessel. So close am I to you now. 3 locks bar our conversation next. And while you ruminate on what that means, these spectral... Oh, I can't. I have to move just you. Hang on 1 sec. I was almost about to move the whole party. Some blue purple Congo colored smoke issues forth from the lamp and writes in 3-dimensional letters that float in space that riddle that's below you, that's below the graphic. The insinuation being that if you are able to successfully answer that riddle, you unlock one of the 3 gates that bar her from a future conversation with you.
Did you send it in Roll20?
Can you? Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Run back.
I moved just you, I think, hopefully just you, to a new scene.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay. You said it's spelling out letters?
Yeah. Can you see what's written below the lamp?
No.
Oop, how about now?
I just see the graphic. There we go. Yeah. I have 6 faces, but never wear makeup. I have 21 eyes, but cannot see what I wear. 6 faces, 21 eyes.
It's okay to not immediately know. You can ruminate on that, but that's the question that's posed to you by the being trapped in the lamp, and apparently successfully answering it will deactivate the first of 3 locks that bar a future conversation.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, think
Let me
about
just
it.
take a picture of it.
Okay.
So I can. All right. I will ruminate on that and solve later. Back to the main channel.
Yes, please. Yep, thanks. During the evening, everybody goes to sleep. During that slumber, Oni and Draco, I'd like both of you to make perception rolls.
I gotta step away for just a sec. I'm sorry.
Perception. Here we go.
Oni, in the middle of the night, you are stirred from sleep by a restless nightmare, but you don't really recall what it is. But even here in this palatial estate in the middle of the oasis, you can feel like a breeze on your face that reminds you of being out on the open ocean and like sailing into a storm front. Just a powerful charged wind washes across your face, and you can't help but feel that that's somehow connected to a nightmare you were having. um, Draco, you similarly shoot up in bed, by yourself in a dark room, um, and as you sit up, you see yourself sitting prone on a desert dune overlooking one of the vast dune seas of the kingdom of Amon-Ra. But on the horizon, a great billowing storm is building in the form of a giant black cyclonic cloud. It touches down on the sand and begins picking up speed. This powerful wind is charged with lightning, and you can hear the thunder peals throughout throughout the desert. And you just feel on your face and body this powerfully strong charged wind, and you worry about what that portends. You wake up in a cold sweat.
Wow. that was something.
Both of you have the minimum requirement for sleep to be healed and recovered, but very fitless, very restless, uncomfortable sleep. In the morning, you find that Bira has had servants leave you guys like continental breakfast trays outside of your room. And you rise, and the morning is yours. What do you guys want to do with it?
I can't hear you, Meg.
I said don't forget to hit your long rest button.
Oh yes.
I know a couple people had to get up. Do we want to take a few minutes break before we get into the next portion?
Yeah, can we?
Yeah, let's take a quick 5.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
think I got my donut. Look at how big that thing is.
Marco, are you munching on donuts?
I am back. Like maybe everybody except Renan is back.
Rena's never here when she's here. How's it going?
Oh, just lovely.
Always, always, always. Yeah, sorry, I stepped away earlier in the middle. Someone came to pick up a sword I had worked on. They're supposed to show up at 1. They showed up at 10:30 instead. Since they were in the area.
Sorry about that.
All right. Are we ready?
Sure.
Sorry. Wake, the morning is yours. What's on your agendas?
Well, see, we're at the temple, right?
You are.
Okay. So, I think we need to try to explore it a little bit in whatever ways we possibly can get away with. Since this is where, what Story's looking for could have, this could be the location of it. No? Or is that the pyramid?
That's inside the pyramid. This is just
Okay.
a lesser religious temple to Jubi
Oh,
Miglig.
okay. Okay.
You can tell by some of the frescoes on the walls here that Jubi Miglig is some kind of hominid crustacean figure.
Does it look like it would taste good with butter?
Yes, but also in an inappropriate way that you feel like maybe you shouldn't have those feelings about something that's so obviously humanoid. But yeah, tasty.
Uh, okay. I kind of want to just go into the temple proper and kind of just check it out and kind of see what I can gather with this deity.
Exploring the accessible common areas, there are water is a heavy incorporation, both because Jubi Miglig is obviously a crustacean, a water deity.
Yeah.
There is you get a sense of it. Eventually, their central pool is shaped kind of like a lobster in the vaguest sense, but two pools are vaguely or decisively shaped like pincer claws. And the waters here are changed color either by some kind of magical means, or the pools themselves have some kind of tile or glass at the bottom that makes them appear different colors. The right claw's pool is colored red, the left claw's pool is colored blue, and you get the sense that Jubi Miglig is like the deity that gives with one hand and takes with the other. And there seems to be uh, Kuatoa patrons worshiping at either side of these pools, either praying to be given something or praying that something be taken away. You do get some odd glances.
Oh, I still want to go and I'll go over check out the red side first. Just kind of just like inspect it. Just kind of check it out.
I can take stuff away from them.
You can hear people praying in that sort of guttural, bubbly fish language you've heard before but do not speak. And they place offerings on they look like small lily pads that sort of float in the pool here. Um, you're not unfamiliar with the idea of a representative symbolic offering. It
Right.
seems kind of standard. Like every religion you've ever come across has something kind of like this. And they're obviously praying for Jubi Miglig to intervene in some form or fashion. But beings as there are so many people here, you would guess every day Jubi Miglig may not be as on top of it as they would like.
Right.
And may need some help.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe they need help making a filter. Making biodome. All right. Yeah, I want kind of eavesdrop, listen in, see if anyone's talking, out loud with it. And then if not, I'll just go ahead and make a small donation. Throw a couple coppers towards where it looks like people are making offerings.
There's a large, you think it's an abnormally large abalone shell at the head of this would-be lobster pool. It's a beautiful shell, but there are people who have placed valuable items, gold pieces, silver pieces, jewelry fragments, like an offering table. They're coffers.
All right, like I said, I'll drop some down into there, and if I don't seem like I can, catch wind of anything in particular, I'll just go ahead and make my way out and see if I can find where the rest of the crew is.
Everybody else will have gotten out of bed at the same time. You guys observe Draco sort of taking in the interesting sights and sounds of this sacred worship place that you guys don't have a complete understanding of. If there's no other people who want to do anything personal on their time, it's not long before Bira tells you that the courtesy she has extended to you is coming to an end, and that she has decided the best course of action for her is to take you to Flop, who is the aide to the steward of this city, and his official title is Governor of the Mundane. And she has decided you are mundane.
Oh, ouch.
Anything but mundane.
Does Hoppy know that word?
Probably not.
Hoppy, not mud vein. That's poop hole.
But he doesn't like being called anything, and it sounds like mud. So
Right. Bira has keeper of customs responsibilities here at the Temple of Jibby Miglig, but offers you Motto, who will be your escort in the upper portion of the city here. You are forbidden from entering anything above this portion of the city, and anything on this level of the city, except to speak with the governor. But you are free to roam about the lower areas of the city, like the merchant square that you were at before. You guys have the autonomy to go back to the merchant square if you want to, or you can have Motto take you to the governor, who is appropriately named Flop, Governor of the Mundane.
let's go see Flop.
I hear no dissenting opinions, so to
Yeah,
Flop
let's go.
we go.
Yeah, no flipping on that, guys.
Flip flop.
I was gonna make a poker joke.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it's probably down the river, right? Or a medium.
I like your ferns.
Yeah, this is a beautiful thing that's been in my library folder of really awesome rooms that I have no idea. Like when I found it, it went gorgeous. Don't know what this is ever going to be, but
Honestly, I'm really digging all of the new content for this one and how you're bringing up the storage stuff. And this is nice. I'm liking it, digging it.
I've had more time. Well, I've made more time in the last couple of sessions to try to get ahead. This is when I have. This is what it looks like when I have prep time.
Impressed? Dig it.
Sitting down with Motto, he tells you to wait a moment until Governor Flop is ushered into the room. You are all asked to take a seat. Flop has been briefed, so to speak, on your situation, but he tells you that in their culture, you are now what they call lost. It is his personal hope that by the end of this meeting, you can be considered foundling. But he needs to hear what your intentions are, what your purpose is, what areas you guys excel in, and whether or not he can find a place for you in their society.
I excel at hitting things very hard.
So is he
He's
conducting the
like
interview now, or okay?
really hoping for more from the group than the Minotaur punching the table, exclaiming he hit things really hard.
Well, I am a druid. I follow very closely to the druidic practices. All about.
He gives tree aids freely. I mean, tree aid. He gives trees aid.
Yes, freely. Healer as well. I'm quite amazing. Then we got Renan over here, our bookkeeper. Very great with banking.
Interesting. My sources tell me that you've come here deliberately. Most
Oh
of our
yes.
foundlings are the flotsam and jetsam we collect as we traverse the wastes. What was your intention?
That's where I turned to sorry and let her take the wheel.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, why are we here?
Uh,
Uh,
uh-huh,
she gives you guys the look like, how direct should we be with this person?
Well,
Are we
I kind of figure with how direct I was, with our banker and myself, it's
she
mid
claims that
range.
she has a deep historical interest in exploring the runes as she understood them to be of the Temple of Kher-Sur, that an ancient god, long forgotten, named Horus, had a particular interest in this temple, and as she is a huge art collector and a historical aficionado, she's come on a pilgrimage to see this sacred location and would very much hope to one day be given access to that place so that she might experience uh, basically the culmination of her life's work. Um,
And I'm a historian. I would love to document your culture as well as explore the history of the ruins in this place.
he reminds you to not use exclusive language and consider the possibility of it being her story as well. Um,
Pull books out of my sack and I just say, and I keep books.
You're also
it
our
does
banker.
seem like you're an eclectic group of people. He sadly has to deflate Sari's balloon a little bit and tell you that uh, only the grandest of champions have ever been permitted access into the actual temple of Kher-Sur. The pyramid itself is the lifeblood, the source from which these waters flow. None may enter except without the express permission of the steward. Mother Lillipillipi wouldn't have anything less than that.
Love these
Why with the
names.
names?
Mhm.
Why with the names?
I would very much love to tell you that one day you could earn such an honor, but the chances of that happening are remote.
Put us in the arena
Who's
and we will
Stewart?
prove you wrong.
We hit things.
You've already heard of our ancestral ring of glory, I understand. It is a path
Oh,
to
the
great recognition
glory
and
ring?
advancement within our society. Yes, it's a large hole in a wall. The other side of it eternally shrouded in darkness.
Love a good glory hole. Love a good glory hole.
It tells you that they've never had someone complete all 5 chests, but if someone could 5 chest a ancestral ring of glory, that would certainly make them highly visible in our society.
Just give us the chance.
He says, that's unfortunately not up to me. I am merely the governor of the mundane. If you were to ever be given a chance, you would have to speak to the Archon of Advancement. Only he decides who participates in such activities.
How do we talk to him?
I
Or her.
suppose I could put you in contact with Ro myself. However, our relationship is not on the best of terms. I recently offered him champions who I promised would make a great showing, and without testing them, he put them in. Well, you don't need to know all of this. I would need a demonstration of your abilities, a proof, if you will, that you are all that you say you are and claim to be, before I would risk um, diminishing my own status by recommending to Row yet another group of failures and disappointments.
How about we show him the dragon egg?
No,
That's on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on the
Oh,
ship.
That would be a feat.
Present us with the challenge. You'll get the demonstration that you desire.
Tree aids everywhere. Da-da-da.
Uh, he agrees and asks if you're familiar with the border guard of our great cities.
The border guard that we had to pass to get in here, they do not pose enough of a challenge.
It warms the cockles of the deepest places of my heart to hear you say that. But I understood you managed to pass them bloodlessly.
We did.
We didn't think
Is
that
that the
making an
child?
entrance through bloodshed would be the best way to
Oh, no, absolutely
ingratiate
not, and
ourselves with the
I
residents of the
completely
city.
agree. However, without having you fought some of our best, I can't possibly judge how great you are. If you would indulge me, perhaps I could arrange for a small, what is this word? A match for
Exhibition.
exhibition? Yes, that is it.
We will not fight anyone who does not volunteer to fight against us. So they will have to know what they're getting into.
Well, they will volunteer once I tell them to.
I
Fine.
hate this guy.
Give me something I can hit.
He asked you to follow him outside of this building to a courtyard. Using a bracelet on his arm, he waves it over a circular section of the courtyard, and a circular stone edifice rises up out of the granite and looks like a teleportation circle, like the ones you would find at the core of each of the Great Pyramids. But unlike the Great Pyramids, this is not at the nexus of any kind of ley line. And he spins something, kind of, it looks like maybe a top or a dial on the wrist device that he wears, and a glowing portal appears in the circle of runes on the ground. And from here, you are looking out at the back of the two guards and the dog that you saw before, almost as if that giant gateway that you walk through is now the aperture through which you are seeing things. And he just jumps down into it and appears on the other side, talking to the two guards. And
Whoa.
from that vantage point, motions you to follow.
I follow.
Let's go.
Let's go. That was cool.
Cool trick.
Oh, well, these guys. Hopefully, they're okay with seeing us again.
I'm missing. Somebody did come with us.
There's no Ahapi.
That makes me unhappy.
And no Renan.
Initiate.
Not yet. I need to get the other people here. Let me clear this first. Don't know why they didn't copy. I had everybody in my clipboard, I thought.
20. Roll 20, everyone.
Yeah, who knows. Alright. Feel free to arrange yourselves however you'd like, and then roll initiative when you're comfortable with where you're placed. Anywhere within, a reasonable distance of that gateway.
Yeah, I'll stay back towards the back here. My little dude isn't out yet, but I will be casting him as soon as I get a chance to.
For the record, nobody's little dude should be out during D&D.
Whoa.
We're
Hey.
on camera, guys.
Not below the waist.
Part of me.
Okay.
I can't roll today. It's not going to go great for me.
You just got to get that. You got that critical failure out of the way, though.
Yeah, I just burned my crit.
Right, we start with Amon, crits aside. Amon, you react first. What would you like to do? Let me get some combat music going.
That's better.
All right. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I am going to. Where is my business? Alright. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the little dog and shoot him with my Lunas bow.
Little dog, he's like 10 feet tall. That's a heckin' big doggo. That's a hit. a second hit.
Clean and quick.
Already having grievously wounded the dog, the two guards now seem enraged and fixated upon you. Hoppy changed their minds.
Please,
I'm going
please
to
do
come
that.
over here and smack him with a stick. Clicking all the buttons, hoping for the best. Oh, that's not the best. That should have been an advantage. Why did that go advantage? Because I didn't roll attack. Sorry.
I like how the camera on Michelle's laptop is making your face look dark, so your hair is creating like this perfect emo shadow. You look like your character maybe.
Yeah, I'm just perpetually coming more and more Renin every day. Just without her skills.
With the different
The
skills.
first one going after that guy.
The first one hits, the second one misses, and I see 29 damage. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And that's all I can do.
In like a deep, almost bullfroggy voice, "Little bull hit hard."
I told you.
Oni.
Kablamo!
Kalamo.
Does 15 hit? I don't remember.
15 misses, unfortunately, but the other two hit for sure. I see 27.
Okay.
The doggo goes. The doggo will attempt to do dog things to Marco.
Doggone it. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Don't ever apologize.
No, it was bad.
The bite, I think, misses. No,
Bite matches. Yeah.
4 points of piercing. Are you raging?
I'm gonna. I am raging. I am going to use my shield so the bite misses.
Okay. The tail still hits? Question mark. Yeah, it crits.
Yes.
Never mind, it does. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw. Could be a guaranteed win.
Jeez. Jeez.
It tries to wrestle you to the ground, but it can't. Like as you lift your arm up and like doggy, and it's still just thrashing off of your bare arm. Draco, your turn.
Okay, I'll cast Fire Dude. You know, boop, Fire Dude's here, and he's going to Flame Seed. The doggo. And doesn't do shit.
It goes a little wider than you had hoped.
Well, because, Marco's flailing it around. That's what I'll say, yeah. It's Mark's fault. Hoppy, freaking Hoppy.
Still, damn you.
Okay, that's my turn.
Renan, it's your turn. All 3 targets still up.
I'm going for Middle Lizard. Not to be confused with Metal Lizard.
Nice.
Nice.
That does hit, and I see 21.
Still shitty damage. Here we are.
It yelps in pain and starts to sort of like recoil looking for cover. Realizes out in the open it's just going to get peppered. The 2 large guards will take their turn now. They extend from their wrists bony protrusions that look incredibly sharp and pointy. They will use these makeshift claws to attack, and will also attempt to bite. We'll start with Oni, with 1 bite and 2 claws.
For at least a little bit.
Okay.
I can soak 3d6.
Let's do the first one hits because of the critical. We'll start there. What did I roll? 11. That's going to be not very exciting.
So I don't take the 9, and Hoppy's taking 8 from the rest. No, I take 9. 29. So I take 21 damage.
How do you figure?
I blocked 16. So I didn't take the 16 from the first one. I only took 9. Plus 10. Plus another 10 is 29. Minus your 8 is 21.
The 17 shouldn't figure.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. The 17 doesn't hit me. So plus 10.
That seems more right to me. The guard that hits you assumes a defensive posture for free. His attacks were lightning fast. Anything that you do to attack him will be at disadvantage next turn because of his critical.
Okay.
Hoppy, the same round of attacks against you this time. A bite and 2 claws. And
23 is what you need.
yeah, disregard. Ooh, I do hit the 23. Disregard the phage. We're not doing that. But no Constitution saves. The 23 hits for 7 slashing that you turn into 3 slashing, and I think everything else missed. Yep. It is Amon's turn. Sorry about that.
No, sorry.
Oh, you're right. Help, harm, or heal.
We're not gonna kill these guys, right? We're just gonna incapacitate them to call
Ideally.
it a win. Okay. Do you guys want to have her attack one of the dudes?
Can she?
Yeah, see if you can
Do
finish off the dog.
Hold on the dog.
Yeah. I mean, we can get them to 0 hit points. They won't die.
Let's get them low and then
We can do
bind them or
cure
something.
wounds or something. I mean, we're just doing this for the presentation to the mayor, so or governor.
Okay.
So
So
if
have
we get them
her
down to 0 hit points, we can bring them back.
have her attack the dog.
Yeah.
That leaves the dog at exactly 1.
Nice.
It limps away, trying to get down the stairs, retreating from the fight.
I get
Making
a attack
or-
opportunity.
Whimpering puppy sounds as it goes.
Oh.
Hoppy's descent
I-
into madness and evil. Gonna scream at little
Well-
girls and kick wounded dogs.
Right? Seriously.
Well, I meant, do we need to get him to 0, or is he running away from the fight?
He's trying to run away from the fight.
Okay, then I won't bother.
Hoppy, we hit 11. I would like to multi-class into some bitch.
Nothing to see here.
Mon, start off round 2 for us. We've got 2 guards at mostly still full health, but the dog is in full retreat.
All right. I'm gonna attack red. Poppy
I'm
says
better at
green. I'll go
thinking.
attack green. Yeah, I'll attack green then.
That does
Does that hit?
It does.
And I'm going to add Hunter's Mark, and I'm also going to cast Slayer's Prey, which is an additional 1d6 of damage.
Play and pray.
Oops. Did that wrong. Four on that one. And then bow. 100 mark for the second.
Does hit. Less damage in the first attack, but still pretty good.
That's it for me.
Hoppy, the turn passes to you. The other warrior, or guard rather, has been wounded by bow strikes. Ona's gonna have a slightly harder time with it because she's a little staggered from that incredible strike. But you got one of your own guards to deal with. What do you want to do?
I'm going to. I'm going to keep on with my guy. Hoppy's kind of got blinders on. that is not the weapon I was going to use.
12 misses, 18 hits, for 27. Oni, it's your turn.
All right, let's do this.
Still seeing stars from that bite a little bit. Don't forget
And it's that
disadvantage.
disadvantage, right?
And I reread it, and it says your next attack, not all attacks. So just the first one.
So the first one's at disadvantage. We know 15 doesn't hit.
That's correct. That's a hit.
15? Okay.
2 hits. I see 21.
21 damage. Well, that was just not very impressive. That's as much as Renan did in 1 hit.
The heckin' big doggo continues to run away. Draco, it is your turn.
John, I'm sorry. Is there does a 16 hit?
Yes, 16 is their armor class.
Okay, because the longbow only adds +6 instead of +10, which is what I meant to put.
I don't understand what you're saying.
He's saying that
Oh,
because he hit the wrong button, it would
I had
have
to scroll
actually
up and
hit with
see.
a 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can go back. Last time though.
Okay.
So 16 damage additionally.
That would have been there. Well,
Oh, because you just pushed the entirely wrong button.
I pressed the wrong button.
I'm seeing it now, yeah.
They're right next to each other. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. Draco, sorry to interrupt your turn. The floor is yours now, sir.
No worries. Okay, I will cast Scorching Ray towards green. First one. Oh, fuck.
Let's see that critical failure table. We pull up spells here, which is always my favorite. Spell fumble says
40.
Just says get fucked. Let me see.
Basically. God damn it.
The placement of your spell startles allies nearest that target, causing them to drop to the ground. Your target
Sorry,
is able
Oni.
to use this reaction to take an attack of opportunity against one of those allies with advantage.
Sorry, Oni.
So, an advantaged bite. 24 hits Oni for 13 points.
Well,
Sorry.
Draco, you bitch.
You
Hey,
bitch. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Draco? Maybe Fire Guy wants to critically miss, or?
Well, I still got 2 more Scorching Rays
Oh,
to
that's
shoot
right. Yeah,
off.
definitely shoot those off. Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one.
That's it.
Okay, plus I gotta do my additional +4, so that's 14. Because with Fire Dude out, he'd get that little bonus. And then one more at him as well.
Unfortunately, a miss.
Okay, and then Fire Guy will Flame Seed.
A hit. Good round.
Sorry, Oni.
Holy shit! Hit the deck. Renan, your turn. See if you can kill them without killing your teammates. Show
Yeah, I'm
Draco
gonna
what's
go
up.
for this one since it has more points. I miss.
You do miss, unfortunately. Can't get a good beat. Hoppy's doing a good job of positioning himself between you and the party, and you just can't risk accidentally shooting him in the ass. It is the guards' turns.
Shot him in the ass.
Start against Hoppy first. A bite and 2 claws. I think that's 3 just misses.
let's see it again.
Oni, your turn. Bite and 2 claws. Think the bite hits, yeah?
Bite hits.
Claw
hit.
hits. Claw miss.
Alright, how much?
Mark's gonna do some reduction. So 7 plus 15 is 22 total.
6 plus 15. 21.
Oh, I took the 13 damage. You're right. Just scrolled up and saw the damages. So just take 3 then?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's Sari's turn.
And do you want her to help, harm, or heal?
Harm. I want her to
Harming.
Harm.
Got it.
Eldritch
Harm in the
blast
arm.
this guy for being a butthole.
Should that be a part of her turn?
Yes.
It's a blowhole. Not to be confused with the glory hole.
A good glory hole.
Ribbit, motherfuckers. She fires 2 this turn, misses 1, the other one hits for only 5.
Aww.
You should be sorry.
Exactly. That's how I feel too, bud.
Yeah. Alright, Amon's turn, start of round 3.
It's still green.
I've had it up to here!
They're having fish people conversation.
Yep.
Is the 18 hit?
18 does hit.
That's gotta kill him, right? That's
15.
22.
Yes. That takes him to 0 hit points.
Nice.
He is unconscious.
Well done, Amon.
And then I will use my second shot at the red.
24
And I
hits.
still have a bonus action to move my hunter's mark to red.
Sweet.
So 20.
That's it for that turn.
Bye.
Do you yield, sir? I'm just going to ask him if he wants to yield now, since his
Nice.
comrades are down.
He looks at the governor, and the governor just kind of like shrugs, and the guard retracts his natural claws into his sheath, and just kind of puts his hands up like, unless you want it, I'm done. This has been not a lot of fun. We were just about to take coffee.
Go get your coffee, man.
Get ambushed by these guys. Shit kicked.
We'll
Where's
wake up
my
your
dog?
friend.
Impressed by your performance, the governor needs a little bit more to represent your flourish for the dramatic. I'd like a performance check. We can do this 2 ways. We either have one person roll it, and that is going to work for everybody, or we take averages, where like all 5 of you will roll a performance, and we'll take the 2 highs and the 2 lows and get rid of them, and have that represent the average of the group.
I
Let's
go
have
Oni.
Oni do it, and I'll
Yeah.
give her guidance.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Critical fail. Goddamn.
19 plus a d4 is going to be more than plenty.
21.
21. He is thoroughly impressed with your performance, the fact that you barely took any hits yourself while dealing out what would be nearly lethal attacks to his guardsmen. Not their greatest warriors, but like, they're out here defending the front line. They're pretty stout fighters, and you minced their meat, so to speak. He is impressed. Comfortable enough making the recommendation to the Archon of Advancement that perhaps you could be eligible. He can't speak for what the Archon will say, but he's at least comfortable making that introduction and letting you make that case to him if you wish.
Thank you. That's all that we need. Just a chance.
Using the same powers as before, he creates a teleportation circle into which see the office that you guys were previously standing in, and he whisks you back if you are done here at the gateway as these guys patch up their wounds. Back here.
Should I give them another extra large gold piece? They shrink down.
An impressive job. Your meeting with the governor is done. You can follow Motto to the Archon of Advancements office, or you can also check back with any of the lower city shopkeepers that you had interactions with previously.
Do we need to go get
I
your
need
arrows?
to
I
talk
do want to
because I
check in
want
on my
to
arrows, but I think the priority is talking with the other guy. Or we can just split up. Like I don't. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna need to
let's
rest,
just
a full rest before we do anything, so I'd like to just get to an inn wherever we're gonna meet for the night once darkness falls.
Well, I'm guessing that if we talk to the dude about the price, we're not going to start fighting today. So, but we probably need to at least get on the bill for some kind of fight.
yeah, let's get on the let's go and talk to the guy.
Okay.
We can always say we're not prepared today.
Okay.
Okay, so heading straight for the Archon of Advancements office.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
This large palatial estate, obviously not built by the Kuatoa or even for the Kuatoa, has an exclusively probably ornamental pond out in front that Ro has made his office. It's full of lily pads that carry like alcoholic beverages. There are two half-naked Kuatoan women in the pond with him when you arrive. It's weird. It's like someone watching someone like swim laps in a public fountain. It's not really what it was
Awkward.
for, but you can kind of see how he got there. Um, and he seems to know of your arrival, like he already knows who you are without introductions. And he asks you, "You've come to seek my advice on how you might advance. Is this so?"
It is.
Tell me, do you just seek personal wealth and glory, or do you seek an audience with our regent mother Lillipilippi?
Both.
That is an excellent answer. I have been responsible for the greatest champions this office has ever produced. My name is as good as gold. Now tell me why I should help you.
To bring you extra fame and fortune. For once you see how we battle, you will be quite impressed, and the wealth you will be able to accrue. I mean, you have Alea's flame in your presence.
I was just gonna say, have you heard of Alea's flame?
No, I'm not a big fan of fire. What is an Ilia's flame?
That
They
is
live on an island in the
I'm gonna
desert.
pull out. I'm gonna pull out our token of patronage, and just sort of flip it and be like, "Well, this is one of the things that we've earned being Alea's flame." I don't know if that will hold any weight here at all.
probably
He
won't, but you know.
loves your leisure domain. He loves the way you flip a coin in your hands. He's a little bit of a flirt. Like he finds like excuses to sort of like touch the back of your hand, and he just sort of walks his nimble fingers up your forearm. Yes,
Yeah.
lovely. I could watch you dance coins all day, my lovely.
And
I
I'm gonna
too can
flip it
flip a
up in
coin.
the air.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it really high up in the air and just do like a cartwheel and then an aerial,
Okay.
then run back, do the splits, and catch it in my hand, and be like, "The show is worth it."
He like does sort of a backstroke in the pool all the way to the far end of this ornamental, very shallow pool that barely is deep enough for him to swim in. I love this. Would you like to join me for a swim? Bathing suits are optional.
I'm gonna change my mesh looking armor into a shirtless looking armor.
Nice.
No, I'm just gonna say, "Girl for the girls."
Ow.
Sorry, Gilly.
um, he asks if you've considered your path to advancement. He says, if you were one day seeking an audience with Lillipilippi herself, you must truly demonstrate a level of exceptionalism that's not been seen for quite some time amongst my peers. Even I have not seen Lillipilippi as much as I would like to. we tend to grant an audience to the greatest in one of three categories: our greatest hunter, our greatest artisan, and or our greatest champion of the ancestral ring. In which of these three categories do you think you could most likely excel?
I'm a remarkable hunter.
I hit stuff hard.
Hoppy's good at making belts.
Do you like macaroni art?
My mom's had this one on her fridge for a long time.
It's art, you can eat it. No, damn it, Hoppy, no more eating it.
So we'd like to take our chances at the ancestral ring.
He tells you such a thing might be possible, however, you should know the ancestral ring is the destroyer of dreams, the crusher of hopes, and is a challenge unlike which you have never certainly faced.
And how best
So, like
should
a
we
normal Thursday.
He tells you that even their greatest champions have only ever managed to unseal the third chest. The arena contains 5 chests of victory.
I bet I know how to figure out to open the other one.
If someone could ever 5 chest the ring of ancestral glory, that would truly make them remarkable, and I don't see how Lillipilippi could refuse a request for an audience.
Gotta buff the wood. Gotta buff the wood.
One of the greatest champions to come from one of your people, Kamal, once tried the ring of ancestral glory with a few friends. They didn't make it past the first chest. But I'm told you are accomplished fighters. Clearly you are brave, clearly you are strong, clearly you are willing. I feel we're
And
going
that's
then let
nuts.
us
It'll be a
praise.
good show. It'll be a good show. It's been a while since you've had someone take the challenge and lay its flames here to put it up.
I will put forth your names under the following considerations. First, you will enter the challenge under the name of Roe. Thus, your glory will be my glory. Secondly, any of the prize money afforded you will be split with me. As the House of Roe grows in glory, shall too it grow in wealth. You accept these terms.
And what do we get in
What
exchange for
percentage?
this large chest?
You get a chance to prove yourself in the ancestral ring of glory, and by winning there, a chance to see an audience with Regent Mother Lillipilippi herself.
What kind of percentages are we talking about?
Now, there are 5 of you and 1 of me, so I'm 50-50.
No. You get 50, we all take 10%. I don't know about that. Huh. We can have you be,
you can have 10%.
He says that he gets a minimum of 25% from a single champion.
You can have
Exactly.
10%.
So this is
If many of your champions don't get through chests, you're already going to get more with us at 25%.
He says he can't believe he'd be willing to do this, but he'll consider accepting only 25% of the winnings.
Done.
10%.
We don't
Nope,
have to tell him
done.
what our winnings in total are.
I think he'll know.
We want a sock and this nickel. You
can
can
have
have
That's right.
a quarter of the sock or a quarter of this nickel. All right. It seems like as long as you're willing to fight under the name of his auspicious house and are willing to funnel him 25% of the booty, then he is willing to put your name up. He tells you that it will take them a day to prepare the Ring of Ancestral Glory for you. But if you're willing to, tomorrow at noon, your trial in the Ancestral Ring of Glory shall begin. Take
We'll
this
Sounds
time to
good.
rest well and prepare yourself for the greatest challenge of your lives.
we'll need a place to stay. That's not this pool.
Mm. Tells you that he supposes you could use the small house beyond the pool. He's had no use for it. It's not designed for his taste. But it would keep you close and make sure that you don't run away in fear and welch on his bet. Yes, this is an excellent idea. You should use my house.
We're staying in the pool house. Got it.
Hey, Rinna could probably stay inside.
Nope, not with that guy. No, no.
Oh,
But he
look at
has two
him. Look at that
ladies.
smile.
You could just be with the two ladies.
This is true.
Yeah.
You make a fun point.
Oh, don't
You
steal his
tell him all
bitches.
about our grotto. Tell him all about our grotto. Yeah, that'd be great.
Grotto.
Damn, Ro. Now you a guy who ain't got no bitches. All right. You have a contract with Ro. He's going to talk with the people and get the Ancestral Ring of Glory plan spun up. People will be excited. It will give everyone in the city a viewing opportunity, something out of the mundane for them to experience. And if you do well, he will be exalted, you will be exalted, and best case scenario, it will put you on the path to meeting the Regent's mother, Lillipillipi.
Sweet. Good job, team.
What else would you like to do with today, since it's not even noon yet?
We have to get Amon's arrows. And is there
And
Yeah, I want to
my
check on my
loincloth.
anything else you guys want to do in the village?
We
Is
should
that
talk
enough
to
time to
Kamal
go get
and-
that guy and come back?
We gotta see if we can get out and come back.
You did make the journey in less than a day. It will not be a restful day. Like, you won't be able to take a long rest and make it to refuge and back.
That is not what we want to do before going into this glory hole.
Okay.
I do like that we're calling it that. Um,
Can we
going
talk to Kamal and ask if he has any advice?
That's
since
an
they
excellent
got
idea.
first-
Yep.
Sure. So we've got Loincloth stop, we've got Kamal stop, and we've got Arrowhead stop. What do you guys want to do first?
Well, Arrowhead, she said by the end of the day, this day. So we got a whole day before we get to her.
So let's go to Kamal first.
Going back to the original sheet here. Kamal is in his studio teaching people. He's guiding them through some meditated yoga, deep breathing, being mindful of yourself and your position, teaching everybody how to feel every nerve ending, every muscle in their body and control it precisely. He
Get
sees
over here.
that you're looking to talk and basically guides the class while he leaves his position and steps outside and asks, "What can I help you with?"
We are going to enter the ring of ancestral glory, whatever, and we just wanted to know if you had any advice, as we have heard that you attempted this before.
I did not do as well as I had hoped. Are you
Do
certain
you-
this is what you wish to do?
Absolutely.
Failure in the ring can result in you being stuck at a station.
Stuck at a station.
I still
Oh.
live in the lower city despite having lived here for a number of years. My failure is all they remember.
Would you like to join us for this next round?
He shakes his head no, that he can't risk failure again because he can't, with his son, afford to be in exile.
Would your
Better a
son like
modest
to join
life
us?
than no life at all.
Just saying, your son and you can join us. Get up on at the top.
He makes a joke again about goat yoga and telling you that if that blessed day comes when you manage to leave the Oasis, him and Marcus would join you to teach your goats yoga. He does tell you that the ancestral ring is more than he ever thought. It's a greater challenge than you realize. That the regent mother Lillipilippi has utilized some ancient power here. It conjures people, beings, creatures, denizens from places and times ill-conceived and poorly remembered. He fought monsters he's never seen or heard of ever before in this arena. The power she wields is impossibly vast. You will fight creatures in this ring you've never heard of, encounter dangers and denizens you can't imagine.
But what was your first stage like? Like, was it puzzle, or was it just straight, low level monster, and then just built up from there, or what?
Dance off.
I was dropped into the ring with my compatriots in the first of 5 zones. The zone was made to look like the deep, deep sea. Our immediate struggle was learning how to breathe underwater, finding a way to not immediately suffocate and drown. We were attacked by shark, leviathan, and octopi like you can't imagine. We struggled to make it to the very first chest. That's something you must realize too. Not all chests contain something good. There is a boon and a bane, potentially in each of the 5 chests. Obviously, a boon is a benefit, a balm to your party, something that will be helpful to you. But just as likely, you'll open a bane, a punishment you must carry with you through the remaining events. If someone is to receive the highest marks for this, they must clear each of the 5 predetermined zones in the Ring of Ancestral Glory and open all 5 of their chests.
What are the 5 regions?
They're randomly determined for each different contest. I can
Will
tell
we
you
know
only
ahead
to
of
be
time?
prepared for everything. They won't tell you, no.
How do you end the round? By opening up the good chest?
By opening up the chest, by defeating the Guardian, and opening his chest, the passageway to the next arena will be unlocked.
And clearly, it isn't all the way to the death every time, seeing as how you're still here, even though you failed.
It's true. Although, no, I shouldn't wish that. There's a small part of me that wishes it were. But shame is better than death.
Who were your compatriots? Did any of the other ones survive?
He says one of them was exiled shortly thereafter. He was an exceedingly greedy man. One of them, he believes, ended up marrying a Coatoan woman and has moved to the upper city. The 4th was his wife, who unfortunately has passed.
Hey guys, it's noon. I gotta get going.
Yeah. We'll just go get my loincloth and ask if they have any advice for the thing.
Yeah, sorry, we gotta go. Is it like
Okay.
do you have 1 minute, Draco, or do you
Yeah, I got about a couple minutes I can do.
We'll end with as you approach the stall where Tiro and Asima have their storefront. You see Asima is using that cloth that you saw before to sort of polishing the storefront, but you don't see Tiro anywhere. Asking about a misplaced or a repaired loincloth, she shakes her head. No, she doesn't know what you're talking about.
I need a zero.
Okay. And I guess we're ending on a cliffhanger.
Sure. If you have no thoughts about not having a loincloth, then we'll stop right here.
I still have my loincloth. It's just a little
Worn.
soiled.
Oh. Oh yeah, actually, I know something we could do. Let's go to the bathhouses that they were talking about and take, enjoy that.
And we'll end there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll end here. Is everybody good for next weekend?
Yes.
I will likely be driving back from Morro Bay, so probably not.
Okay. We have only 2 sessions, the 28th and the 4th, before we're attempting our in-person session on the 11th. We're gonna definitely have to play both of those sessions, even if we're missing a person or two, to get to where we need to be for the 11th.
Okay.
There's a real world possibility that either of those sessions want to go long. Is there a world where we can play a little bit longer than noon on either the 28th or the 4th?
Yeah, if know ahead of time, that we are planning it, that I can make that work myself.
Hard no. Sorry. If we started earlier, maybe next weekend, we have to be in Santa Barbara by 3 next